O Great Spirit, saints and sages of all times, of all places, O ye pathmakers of old, ancestors of our bloodlines, of our adopted lines, our spiritual lines, namaste. We call upon ye, most beloved Ishtadevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, most beloved light of life, O infinite, infinite Lord of stillness. Come reside with us, be with us. Fill every cell of our being with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May our time be blessed. May our meditation be blessed. May it be fruitful. May we know that which needs to be known, see that which needs to be seen, and hear that which needs to be heard. Thus that we might act in the highest good. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Sunday Sangha. May our meditation be fruitful. May our time together be vivifying for each of us. The monk Manu. You've heard perhaps of the monk Manu. Good soul, everybody said. Everybody speaks so highly of Manu. Oh, Manu the compassionate. Oh, Manu the wise. Manu who lives in his little ashram right next to the temple. He cleans every day. He gathers alms. He goes and visits those who are sick. He goes and helps the elderly, the poor. And he even helps those who are healthy and wealthy and wise. Not a bad word could be heard about Manu. Only goodness. Time. In the village that Manu lived, a young girl became pregnant. Mother and father were not very happy, horrified. Their daughter, Leela, was not married. What would the people say? What would they say? No matter what they did, no matter how they shook her, no matter how Papa yelled, no matter how Mama yelled, Leela would not say who the father was. She grew and grew and grew and grew. And one day, she had her baby, Abu. Finally, so very tired, Mama kneeling by her bed crying, Papa kneeling by her bed yelling, "What have you done to us?" No joy for seeing Babu, no joy, no happiness. What have you done to us? You have ruined our name with your bad behavior. Layla breaks down. All right, I'll tell you. It was Manu the monk who is the father of my baby. It's Manu the monk who is the father of my baby. No. What did you say? Manu the monk? That little sneaky. Oh, he makes everybody think he is so good, and he is the father of your baby? Oh, yes. Well, let me take that baby. Now, it's their first grandchild. Are they happy? No. Are they glad to see the baby? No. Do they even say kisses and hugs for Babu? No. All the joy down the garbage, down the drain, out the door. They take Babu. We're taking Babu over to Manu, and the monk Manu is going to take care of the baby. And Leela's crying, but she still insists it's Manu the monk. What we say when we're under pressure. The door opens. Ah, hello, how are you today? You fiend. What do you mean, how are we today? This is how we are. We've got your baby. Is that so? We know what you did to our daughter. This is the baby Babu as a result of your bad actions. Is that so? Take the baby. All right. Thank you. Fine. Storm away. Go through the village. That Manu the monk, he's an evidur. Can you believe he's the father of our daughter's baby? What a sneaky guy he is. In the meantime, Manu takes Babu. Now, Manu's never had a baby, but he, the lady next door helps him, and she helps him to get food that Babu will eat, and so, Babu cries, and Manu holds him, and, chants a little bit to him. Om, Ram, Om Shiva, Om Chandra, Om Mangala, Om Buddhi, Om Brihaspati, Om Shukra, Om Shani, Om Rahu, Om Ketu, Om Ravi, Om. And Babu stops crying. Babu likes the sound of Manu's voice. And so Babu goes to bed. The monk Manu fashions a papoose, a carrier that he carries. And he carries little Babu around the next day as he's going about his work. But all of a sudden, all the villagers, except the woman next door, who had been so kind and so respectful and offering him alms every day and coming to the temple, started whispering, "Can you believe what he did? Do you believe that? What a hypocrite. What a meanie. He took advantage of that young girl." They started calling him names. the children picked up rocks and stones and started throwing them at Babu, at Babu and Manu. As Manu was carrying Babu, children were throwing stones. You hypocrite, saying what their parents said. You're bad. You pretended to be a holy man. And Manu the monk just said, is that so? Is that so? And every time someone hurled insults at them, the two of them together, he'd protect Babu and he'd say, is that so? Oh, they were mean. Not only did they throw rocks, but they threw spoiled food and dirty water, and one insult after another. Yeah. So this went on for several days. Not too long. Yeah, not too long. But Babu was safe. And every time someone would say something, Manu the monk would say, is that so? And getting help from the lady next door, he rocked Manu, rocked him, sang to him, fed him the little bit of sugar water he could. Not too many sunrises and sunsets go by, and Leela can't stand it anymore. She sees Manu the monk walking through the village with Babu. She hears all the insults, and she misses her baby. She goes to Mama and Papa and says, I'm sorry. I lied. Joe, the baker's son, we're in love. Joe and I are in love. And Babu is our baby. Joe is the papa, not Manu the monk. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I was so afraid of what you would think of me and what you would say. And I know you don't really like the baker, and I know you don't like Joe the baker's son, but I love him. And we would like to have our baby to take care of. Oh, Mom and Papa, they were so embarrassed. Angry, but embarrassed, really embarrassed. I mean, they said all these bad things about Manu the monk, this holy man, and everyone in the town had turned against Manu the monk on their word because of what they said. And it was all based on an untruth. Oh my. Oh, so they go across town, just down the road, really, Namaste, how may I help you? Papa gets on his knees, drags Leela down on her knees. Mama's on her other side, holding on to Leela, saying, prostrate, bow before the monk. That's not necessary. How may I help you? Leela. Papa's kicking her in the shoes, kicking her in the feet. She didn't have any shoes. I'm so sorry. I lied. I was afraid and I lied. And I was wrong. And you're not the father of Bapu. Of course you're not the father of Bapu. You're a holy man. The baker's son, Joseph, who's right behind me here, he is the father of Bapu. And Manu smiles, says, well, Bapu, now, Thanks for visiting. And he turns to Leela and he said, is that so? And hands her beautiful, beautiful, beautiful son, Bapu. And the word swept through the village. And the villagers came lined up with gifts and sweetmeats and apologies, coming one after another. And Mana the monk just kept saying, Namaste. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Is that so? Is that so? Is that so? And he hands over Papu, the baby, to Lila and Joseph. And in the next village, there was a man. The man was a farmer, worked very hard. Had a rich uncle, lived 5 villages down. The rich uncle, very, very rich. He was a farmer, but he had a horse. Oh, he could farm well with that horse. Good horse, good farmer. Uncle dies. The man gets notice. Ah, your uncle left you his horse. Oh my, how wonderful, how wonderful, how wonderful. Everybody's saying, you've got a horse, you've got a horse. It's so wonderful. Is that so? He says, is that so? And off he walks to the village and brings the horse back. But he wasn't so good at riding horses. He'd not really done it before. So he comes riding into town and the horse gets a little confused and a little scared and knocks the man off. And all the people who were saying, oh, what a wonderful, wonderful horse. And here they see Hefe lying on the ground. I say, Hefe, Hefe, how terrible, how terrible, how terrible. The horse threw you to the ground. Are you all right? Are you all right? No, looks like I broke the leg. How terrible, how terrible. Is that so? Is that so? A fortnight goes by. The king's army comes charging into town. There's a war and they need all the men, and all the horses. They take Hefe's horse. They come knocking on his door. A lot of knocking on doors. Come knocking on his door. Hefe, Hefe, you have to come. We need you in the army. You need a man with a broken leg in the army? I don't know what I can do. Oh, all right. You just stay with the women and children. And the villagers look and say, oh, they took your horse. What a terrible, terrible thing. You broke your leg. What a terrible, terrible thing. And Hefe says, is that so? Is that so? Time goes by. Hefe's leg heals. The villagers say, oh, your leg's well. What a wonderful, wonderful thing. Is that so? Is that so? 2 months go by, the war is over, and what do you know? Hefe's horse really liked living with Hefe, so he comes back, he breaks free, comes back. And one morning, Hefe wakes up, and the horse has got his little face in the window saying, silently, can you give me some apples? Do you have any apples for me? I'm so glad to be home. And Hefe reaches over and pets his horse. Oh, yes. And all the villagers say, oh, you have your horse back. What a wonderful, wonderful thing. And Hefe says, is that so? Your name, your fame, your reputation. Today they're wonderful. Today the people speak good things and high things of you. Tomorrow, one in the crowd does not like what you have done. One in the crowd is not happy with what you have done. And they begin to speak poorly of you. And it spreads. It spreads. And all those people who a minute ago thought you were wonderful and kind and loving do not think the same anymore. Did you see what she did? Did you see what he did? Well, no, I didn't exactly see it, but I heard about it, and I know it must be true. In fact, it must be worse than what I heard. The name and the fame, they come, they go. The titles, they come, they go. The importance, it comes, it goes. Is that so? And so what is what is the value? What is the value of seeking her approval, his approval, their approval? Why spend your life saying, oh, consciously or unconsciously, oh, if only I did this, if only I did this, if only I did this, if I did it this way, they would think that I was worthy. If I did it that way, they would think I was worthy. The approval, the disapproval of the world, the approval, the disapproval of others. It's like the ocean wave. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. Some will like you, some will not. Some will be drawn to you, some will be averse to your personality. Let it not bother you. Today they will agree with your opinion, tomorrow they will not. Thus, let go of your opinions and cease trying to persuade others to think the same way you do, to behave the same way you do. For what? Their minds will change, your minds will change, your mind will change. Now, the human body is very much ruled by the mind. It has within it its own consciousness. And the problem we live with is that the body not only it doesn't have one consciousness. All of the parts of the body have their own consciousness. Your microbiome, which takes up an enormous amount of your body, far more than your cells, the microbiome has its own level of consciousness. Your eyes have their consciousness, their own intelligence. Your ears, your nose, your skin, your liver, your pancreas, your abdomen, your stomach, your intestines. They all have your nails. They all have consciousness. And you think you're running things. That becomes a problem. You think, I think, we think we're running things. And the mind, the human mind, becomes attracted to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, to this, but is most often driven by the desire for acceptance. So I'm going to tell you something this morning. You're accepted just the way you are. You are accepted. You are good enough just the way you are. You are good. You are accepted the way that you are. Now, this moment, you are loved and you are accepted. You don't have to do anything to earn it. For you are a part of this. You are a part of life. We are all part of the whole. Now, you may not feel like that at some moment in time. Hopefully at this moment you feel loved, you feel accepted, you feel respected, for you are. But at some moment, the thought may arise again, I'm not good enough. Oh, I want his approval or her approval. This desire for acceptance and this desire for the approval of others is very insidious. It's very subtle. Sometimes it's quite gross in that you can really see it and feel it and you know it and you can say, oh yes, I'm trying for this person's approval. And other times it is so very subtle that you cannot see it, you cannot feel it. It runs through your consciousness. There comes a time in our lives, sometimes it comes more than once, where you will awaken and you will see, you will have a satori, an enlightenment, an aha. And that aha will say, oh, I see. I've really wanted my brother to approve of me. I've always wanted my brother to approve of me. And he never has. I wanted my next door neighbor to approve of me. And he hasn't. Even better. Oh, I really would like my boss to approve of me. But last week he seemed to. This week he doesn't. Oh, and for some of you, I'm an artist, I'm a musician. I want my fans to approve of my creations. I want my fans to approve of my music, of my art. I want approval by all of them, of my music, my art. Me. Those creations are mine. They're me. I want their approval. And the time comes and they approve. But then somebody takes a sip of water or wine from the goblet. Oh, yeah. He's history. She's history. Let me look at the next creation. And you're left with a lack. You're left with a loss, a feeling of, well, they liked my work last week, but now they like John's better. They liked my work last week. Now they like Mary's better. They liked my work last week, but now they like Paul's or Peter's better. And so it creates this internal continual striving, continual striving, continual striving. I want to be accepted. I want to be accepted. I want to be accepted. And so what must be done? There must be something done. You need to be able to do something. I said you need to be able to do something. I didn't say you must do something, but you need to be able to do something. You can, you can, you can, you can. Cultivating that sense of, using Manu the monk's phrase. Is that so? Using Heffy the farmer's phrase. Is that so? You go out and somebody says, "Oh, you look beautiful today." That's very kind of you. In your mind, watch. Is there any, I do look pretty nice today? Or, oh, I'm so glad they said that. The letting go of the need of approval, the letting go of the need of approval for others, creating a foundation in your life that allows you to stand on your own 2 feet, steady and sturdy upon the earth plane, so that you do not need the approval, the acceptance of others to be able to walk your path, to be able to walk your path clearly. It does not mean, that when somebody accepts you, that you don't feel nice about it, but it means you don't need it. And that you let go of your preferences. There's 2 sides to this. You let go of the need for their approval, and you let go of the need to control them, to have them doing as you would like when they live their life. It's 2-sided. Bring it into balance. Bring it into balance. Bring it into balance. What is the it? The it is the fluctuations of the mind going this way and that way and this way and that way. They're angular. It's angular energy. It's angular movement of the thoughts, the thought forms of the mind that move down the spinal column and take you this way and that way and this way and that way. Now there is a petite problem that we have. And that problem is that these preferences, these desire for acceptance, the desire for approval, and the desire to control others, and the desire to have them living exactly the way that you wish them to live, that's very subtle, but boy, it is really, really, really permeates every bit of your consciousness, whether you know it or not. Your neighbor gets a new car and you say, "That's a nice car. Sure would have been better if they had it in a different color." They get the color you like. Sure would have been better if it was a different model. They plant their summer flowers. Oh, I don't know why they planted that color. I don't know why they planted that plant. It's very subtle. Very, very subtle. We have to say neti, 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 neti. Neti, 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 neti. And so this requires the use, it is helped massively by the use of the witness or the observer practice, the value of which this practice, as you gain skill in it, as you cultivate it, it is with you all your waking hours. As you practice and practice and practice, it will be with you in your sleeping hours. Take one part of your consciousness and lift it 18 to 24 inches above your head. And you're lifting a part of your consciousness above your chakric system, above. And thus, there is no judgment. There's no movement. There's no action. There is simply observing. I move it down to the throat chakra, as I've been doing, to the heart chakra, to the Mars chakra, to the Jupiter chakra, to the Saturn chakra, the foundation. No, I want it above all of that, above, so that I can see and observe. You can see and observe that. And so take the part of your consciousness and place it above your head. Link it. That part of your conscious it has the capacity to do one marvelous, marvelous thing. And that is it can observe, not absorb, observe everything that is happening within your being, your physical being, your astral being, and it can observe everything that's happening around you without the gluiness of karma, without the stickiness of karma, without the glompiness of karma. It's just observing. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Now, in order to activate this consciousness, you must, for 49 days, link your practice to some activity. And so, every time I drink water, link. Stop for a moment, and what are you observing? Every time you see a particular color, any shade of blue is very good for this, but any color that resonates for you, every time you see it, you stop and turn upward. Turn your attention upward. What do you observe at that moment? Until this becomes natural to you. In 49 days of diligent practice, where you're practicing, you're linking yourself with this activity, in 49 days you will link in. And you have to assess, how is that going? How is the observer going? The effect of seeing without judgment, the effect of observing without judgment is very powerful. Using this, you tell your subconscious mind, I guess he wants to really see what's happening here. I guess she really wants to see what's happening here. And it is an absolutely mystical, miraculous, if you will, practice, because once your subconscious mind, you constantly and consistently have this higher awareness here, your horizon of awareness just opens and opens and opens and opens and opens. Because the mind can say, she's willing to see anything. He's willing to see anything. And so it allows the thoughts that are icky, that are sticky, that are gluey in any situation to come up and arise, and your mind can see, your higher mind becomes aware of them. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that thought interesting? Isn't that interesting? I wonder where that came from. Isn't that interesting? Go back from whence thou came. Isn't that interesting? And in turn, it gives you an enormous capacity. You develop a skill. You develop the skill, in one sense, the skill of detachment, but you develop the skill to be able to transform your life to bring happiness and joy into your life. You learn. You learn. And so let us move into a meditation. My guru's words for the day: drop greed and let go of self-interest. Be at peace, become wise, become a blessing to the universe and the cosmos. Become a friend of life and of God. How do you do this? All the ways we've talked about. Use the observer practice. Watch how it unfolds in your life. It is a powerful Kriya, very powerful Kriya, that will enable you to exercise your free will. You know, in the lower planes of existence, there's no free will. In the higher planes of existence, there's no free will. Devaloka, the realm of the Devas, they don't have free will. Pretty nice place, I hear, but not free will. But here upon the earth, you have free will. Here upon the earth, you have free will. All of your incarnations have brought you to this moment. And so whether we have, 0.3% or maybe up to 3% free will, we have some free will. And this beautiful Kriya that we have shared this morning, the stories of saying, is that true? You have free will. And if you can but exercise a little tiny bit, that will make all the difference. And so let us move into our meditation. Sitting with your spine erect. Place your hands upon your thighs in the Om Mudra, bringing the index finger and the thumb together. Focus your attention at the point between your eyes, the Ajna chakra. And now turn your head to the left with a double exhalation. Bringing the head back to the center. Begin to watch your breath. Use the sipping breath to draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk of the body. Sipping through your mouth as if through a straw. From the trunk, move the energy to the spinal column. from the base of the spine up to the sun center. Take the energy and move it out as a golden ball of light out in front of you, and sweep to the left, encasing your entire body in golden light. And do this 3 times. Move your energy out of your body at a 45-degree angle, ascending through the sun center as high as you are able. Ascending up to the highest realms. As you reach the high place, find your space for meditation. And as you are there, you see in your mind's eye a path ascending higher. Enter this beautiful path. It leads you through a meadow teeming with flowers of all colors. The most beautiful, fully blossoming flowers. You can hear the hummingbirds, the birds of the high place. Ascending upward, the path leads you to a forest. It is easy. The light dabbles through the forest. Ascend higher. Hear the waterfall in the distance. You see a clearing in front of you. A beautiful, beautiful clearing. Verdant and green. Filled with flowers and beauty. And in this beautiful area, you see a shrine. Perfect for you at this moment. The smells are sweet. The colors are glorious. The shrine is welcoming you. to enter in. And as you do, it is filled with colored lights. Only those that you need at this moment, the color you need at this time. You breathe the prana in the shrine. As you walk in, your body begins to be nourished and vivified. Drawn further back into the shrine, there's a beautiful pool of light, deep, comforting. You enter into this pool of light and feel all of the sticky, gluey karmas dissolving away, no effort. You walk back to the waterfall that you see. Your being is filled with the beauty of the waterfall of light. And enter into the light. Om Namo 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 The light pours down upon your crown center, healing and filling every cell of your being. Filling all of the spaces, shaking, shaking free the difficult karmas. Your body begins to ascend a little bit easily. When you are ready, you walk forth from this healing light, strengthened and vivified, loved, accepted, respected. And as you walk through the pool, you feel your body clothed in new, beautiful, brilliant clothing. The clothing of compassion, the clothing of truth, the clothing of contentment, the clothing of love, the clothing of kindness, the clothing of gentleness, the clothing of wisdom, the clothing of skillful means, and the mystical clothing of the universe. The blessings of your Ishtadevata pour forth upon thee and clothe thee with the cloak that will give you all that you need, as you need it, how you need it, when you need it, for your highest good. Walking forth from this shrine, walking out into the beautiful sunlit field of flowers. Return to your meditation place. O infinite Lord of stillness, fill us with thy presence. O infinite Lord of compassion, fill us with thy presence. O infinite Lord of life, fill us with thy presence. O infinite Lord of life, may we be one with thee. May we serve thee. May we serve life. May we become one with thee and lift and vivify all of those who enter our aura. Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gam, Om Gum, Om Gum, Om Gum, Om Aim, Om Ham, Om Krim, Om Klim, Om. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Be thou blessed, be thou blessed, be thou triply blessed. become an ever greater blessing unto all of those who enter your aura. As you fill your life with peace, as you fill your life with contentment, as you fill your life with wisdom, you share that with the world. Namaste. Namaste. Namaskar. I thank you, as always, for the blessing of your presence. It's a joy to share the Sunday Sanghas with you. Thank you. Be blessed. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your day. Shanti. Namaste.